In this video, I'm going over the 6-step process of starting an SMMA social media marketing agency. My name is Sean. For those of you guys who are new to the channel, I'm the owner of North Digital, a multiple 6-figure per year digital marketing agency. And if you're someone who's thinking about starting an agency or currently building it, you're in the right place. Watch this video until the end. It's going to be packed with quick, actionable steps on how you can get started. So step number 1 is choosing your business name, and if you want, building a simple one-page website / landing page. Let's start with the business name. Now, the number 1 mistake you can make when deciding on your first business's name is wasting too much time in the decision-making process. Speed matters in the beginning. So I'm going to give you a quick way to choose the name for your agency quickly. The format you want to use is choose one word to be the first half of the name, and then the second word, which is going to be the second half of the name, is going to be either digital or media. So an easy first word to choose is simply your last name or your initials. So if I was starting a new agency right now, knowing everything I do, I would spend about 10 minutes deciding on either Wiggins Media or SWW Media or SW Digital, etc. Now, I did call my agency North Digital. That is another option. If there's another word you think is cool that you want to put in front of media or digital, then go for it. But it doesn't need to take more than an hour of total time to decide on the name for your agency. Now, the second part of the step 1, and this is an optional step because really you don't actually need a website. You can get your first clients using only your LinkedIn account and Facebook page, but I know people like to see their new business name up on a website address. So if that's you, I have a fast way to build a simple one-page website, which is more than you need to get your first couple of clients. And to explain that, I'm going to spin around and jump into my computer. All right, so here we are on my computer, and the software I recommend you use to set up your simple one-page website, also known as a landing page, is Unbounce. So Unbounce, you go to unbounce.com. I'm already logged in on my screen here because I have an account with these guys. We use Unbounce for all our client landing pages as well. I've tried ClickFunnels, and Unbounce, let me tell you, is way better, way less bugs, way more effective for lead generation, which is what we're going to be doing. ClickFunnels is better for e-commerce. Unbounce is better for lead generation. So let's just jump right into it, guys. So when you set up your account in Unbounce, you will press create a new page. And then what you can do is you can use their template. So they have 101 templates here. Just click down to consultancy. And really any of these templates will work. But I'm just going to choose this one here for now. So once we've gotten into the template itself, you can see how this works. This is it's a simple page, and everything on here we can fill out and customize to what we want. So on the side panel here, you can hide any of the sections just by pressing this little eye icon. So when you start out, you're not going to have any social proof, which is these things here. So let's just get rid of that. Clicking that there. So this is good. We can keep that. What you'll probably do is you'll upload a new photo instead of this. We can customize that, scroll down. So if we go down here to let's see here. We're not going to have these pricing options because as an agency, you're just going to be generating leads and talking about price on the phone. So I'll hide that section as well. So you can see here how you just hide the stuff you don't want, and then it's very easy to customize this. So let's just start by modifying this, and what I'll actually do is I'll just delete that image, and I'll just Control C, Control V, copy this, and let's just assume I am calling this Wiggins Media. So we'll go like that. Put this over here. I'll reduce the size a little bit. I'll add a bold. So that is basically my equivalent of a logo, and it's absolutely all you need to get started. And for the purpose of this demonstration, let's say I'm working with HVAC providers. So HVAC is like heating and air conditioning, and they're a great niche to focus on. So I'm going to say we help HVAC businesses get a steady stream of new high quality leads. And as you can see, this is basically it's kind of like Microsoft Word. It's very simple to just drag and drop these things around. Spread that out, center it. I kind of like this graph, so I'm just going to leave it. This looks like this is kind of relevant to a digital marketing business. And then let me add a little description in here. And I might say through targeted Facebook and Google ads combined with conversion optimized landing pages, we generate our clients significant, if I can spell, okay, so let me just leave it at that. I'm going to save that. And I'm not going to go through the entire thing. I think you guys get the idea of how easy this can be. And I'll preview it here. And there we have it, guys. This is already like a 30% done website for your agency. This is all you need, and that's how fast it is. So it comes pre-built with these little animated arrows and this and that. So all you have to do is go through here and fill this out with relevant information and then upload your own photos. And for photos, just go to pexels.com and get free stock images. So that concludes how to build the website. Let's get on with step 2. All right, so step 2 is choosing your niches. And you want to choose a couple of niches when you're starting out to test the waters and see where you're going to get the most traction. And it's very important that you don't choose difficult niches. So there's 3 criteria that you have to keep in mind when choosing your initial niches to target. And these criteria are, number 1, your future clients, customers have to have a high lifetime value to your client. So what this means is that when you get your client a new piece of business, a new client, a new customer, it's actually worth a lot to them. So in dentistry, the lifetime value of a new dental patient is something like $2,000 at the minimum. So if we get our dental clients 5 new patients a month, we're generating them $10,000 new a month. And that makes it really easy for them to justify giving a lot of money to us to run those campaigns. Alternatively, if you're working with something like a flower shop or even like, let's say, a lock repair company, it's tougher because the lifetime value for a locksmith is maybe a couple $100. The lifetime value for a flower shop is like $50 when someone goes and buys some flowers. So for businesses like that, you're fighting more of an uphill battle because you have to get them so many new customers each month in order to make it worth it for them. Point number 2 is that you want to work with a business that offers an essential service. And what I mean by this is your clients should offer something that people just need. So these are things like a roofer. When your roof is broken, you have to fix it. A chiropractor, when your back is messed up, you have to go to a chiropractor. A personal injury lawyer. When you get in a car crash and have to figure out what to do, you have to call a personal injury lawyer. Pest control. When you have bugs in your apartment, you got to deal with that quickly. Dentist, of course, when you have a broken tooth, you got to get that dealt with quickly. So all of these are essential services, and the people that are going to be searching for them and the end users that you're going to be advertising to inherently have a high buying intent, which makes your ads convert way better. So on the flip side, let's say we're talking about a life coach or a art dealer or even a like boutique furniture store. All of these things are more electives that people can choose to do. No one needs to buy a new piece of furniture today in the same way they need to call pest control if they have cockroaches in their apartment. And nobody needs to hire a life coach right now in the same way they have to see a dentist if their tooth is broken. So if you take on clients where their end customer inherently doesn't have a lot of buying intent, it's going to be way harder to actually close them into new business for your clients. And on the third reason, the reason why it's important to choose a business in a physical location that offers a service, not a product, but a service to, let's just say it's a 10 kilometer or 10 mile radius, depending on what country you're in and what units you use. You're only competing with people in that radius. And that means you have low competition. All of the ad platforms work on an auction basis. So the lower the competition in the area, the better your chances are of winning. And it only means that you just have to run better ads than like the 5 other businesses in their radius. And that makes it way easier. The competition's way lower. Alternatively, if you were to try running ads when you're first starting to a global e-commerce brand or even a national e-commerce brand, you're going to be competing with hundreds and thousands of other companies that are trying to sell globally or sell nationwide, and the competition is way fiercer. So what you want to do is find businesses where there's a high demand for their services, there's a high value to getting them new business, and they're a local business, so you only got to do better ads than the people in that specific area. Step 3 is to start prospecting in your niches. So you're going to choose 3 and make a list of 50 businesses in each of those 3 niches, and then contact all of them. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that with free tools that you can use right now. So I'm going to make this smaller and jumping into my computer. What I'm starting off by doing is I simply went to Google Maps and I searched roofers. And this is centered over Vancouver, which is where I live. You can do this for any city in the world. And what you want to do, what you'll see is that when you type in roofers, you get a list of a bunch of roofing businesses. And there's several pages of this. So there's hundreds of businesses right here at your fingertips for you to go through and start contacting. Now, I've opened 3 of these guys' websites right here. And what you want to do when you're in this list, you just hit website, that'll pop open their website. And then when you're in here, you go to their contact page. So hit contact and you get their info. So the way I would set up this, this Google sheet here to track this, let's just title this, agency prospecting. And I'll actually make this downloadable in the video description so you guys can copy this template for yourself. So what I'm going to say is industry 1, we're going to do roofers, and then let's make some columns here. So business name, phone, email, contact 1, contact 2, contact 3, and then notes. And I'll explain all of this in just a second. Let's get these to be bold. So business name 1, this is Taves Roofing. The phone is 604-670-7553. The email is info@tavesroofing.com. Just copy this over. And there we have that one. Let's go to this other one. This is Millwall Roofing. Millwall Roofing. Phone number 604-763-1930. Email right here. And let's get the third one up here. This is Lockhart Roofing. Lockhart Roofing, 604-314-5544. And Scotty at lockhartroofing.ca. Great. So we have 3 prospects now. And what I recommend you do is you want to get 50. So, spend an hour doing this, and we'll drag this down all the way to 50. And fill out this information for all of them. And then what you want to do is you want to start off by sending them an email. And I will put on screen now a basic email script that I use for situations like this. So you guys can pause it and copy that for yourself. And once you've sent emails, and I would also note the date you sent this. So let's just say you sent this January 30th. You sent all these emails January 30th. And contact number 2, what I like to do is I like to send them an email talking about my pitch, and then I like to give them a phone call. So wait 4 or 5 days and then give them all a phone call. And as you go through it, just make a note of what happened. So no answer, let's say no answer. This guy answered phone, said to call back in a week. Okay, and then, you can highlight this and remember that you need to call this guy back. Now, and as you do this at scale, you're going to get some people that are interested. And what I'll also talk about is the actual pitch that you're going to be telling these people and how to actually get them to sign on. Okay, so let's talk more about the pitch. And this is step 4, is dialing in the pitch you're going to be making to these potential clients of yours. And what's important to emphasize is that your initial pitch is very hard for them to say no to, because you're offering to work for free for the first month. And this is the fastest way to actually get full paying clients. So I'm going to close this and show you how I go about that. So as I showed prior, we have our email template that is based around working for free and also looking at their competitors. So this is an example I use for dentists because that's the niche I'm mostly in. But what I like to do is make the title something kind of cheeky that's going to get their attention. Are you accepting new patients right now? 99% of the time, the answer to that is yes. And then I like to start by talking about basically touching on a pain point. So I noticed that when I searched dentist at Eagle Creek, I couldn't find you. And this gets them thinking. So then I say, I specialize in dentistry. I work in your city. And then I say, we're a new agency. We're looking for a few high quality offices to work with free for 1 month in exchange for testimonials. Are you open to a 5-minute phone call? I'll share some competitor info with you. Have a great rest of your day. And this has been proven to be an effective email. So let's just bridge it back to our roofer example here. So let's just say this is Taves Roofing. So Taves Roofing is in North Vancouver and Maple Ridge. So let's just start with North Vancouver. So if we Google roofers North Vancouver, let's just see if we see Taves Roofing. So we have 3 ads, and then we have the Google Map pack. Okay, so Taves Roofing is there. However, they're position number 4 on the map pack, and they're position number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the Google search result. So that's actually not bad. And in the email for Taves Roofing, I would say, I noticed that when I searched Taves Roofing, you showed up. Sorry, I noticed when I searched, in this case, we would say roofers North Vancouver, you showed up in the number 5 position on Google behind 4 of your competitors. And that's still going to be captivating for them, because what we're going to be doing, one of the things we do is we set up Google Ads, which literally shortcuts them straight to the top of Google instantly, which clients love. And that's a really good hook. So when we're pitching the clients, you can see how I'm going to modify this for each one. Same thing, Millwall Roofing. Let's give these guys a quick search as well. So they're in Mission, which is a smaller town. Let's just see if they show up. Roofers, Mission. Say roofers. So we have these guys. I don't see Millwall yet. No Millwall. So it doesn't look like Millwall is here. I'll maybe just search for them. Millwall. So they are showing up under some like lists, but their actual website is nowhere to be found. So that's another thing you could say. So if I was going to be sending something to Millwall, I would say, I noticed when I searched roofers mission, you showed up in some top 10 lists, which is awesome, but your website itself was nowhere to be found. And then I would roll with that. So as you can see, guys, what you want to do is customize this for the actual business you're pitching. So this does take a little bit of time because you're going to have to go through the list of leads you made, but this is an effective way to approach it. And when you do get them on that 5-minute call, what you're saying is, you know, hey, I'm a new agency. I know how to get you more business. I want to work for you for free for 1 month. And all I ask is that you fund the $500 of ad spend. And ad spend is the amount of money that gets paid to Google and or Facebook. And I'm going to jump a bit more into that in a second here, but you're offering to do your services for free. They just fund the ad spend portion of it. And it's a really compelling offer. And it's a way for you to show them you can get value. And then once you prove that, then you can ask them for money. Now, step 5 is to set up ads and run it for the client after you've got one to agree to this trial. Now, there's 2 specific types of ads I recommend you start off with. And these 2 types of ads are Facebook lead fill ads and Google Smart ads. The reason why I choose these 2 is because with both of those, it's the platform's algorithm that does 99% of the work. So with the Facebook lead ad, Facebook itself is generating leads and sending them to you and the client. And with the Google Smart campaign, Google literally builds out the ad copy for you, sets it all up. All you have to do is set a few basic parameters and press go. So this is the highest leverage thing to do when you're first starting. You don't need advanced technical knowledge. You don't need deep understanding of digital marketing to set these up. These platforms, Facebook has made the lead ads extremely simple, and Google has made smart campaigns extremely simple. And because we've chosen the right type of client where you're only competing in the local area, there's high demand for their services are worth a lot, these campaigns will be sufficient to get the client good results, and they don't take that long for you to learn. So in this video, I don't have time to go in depth into both of them, but what I will do is give you a really quick overview of both right now. So for the Facebook lead ad, there's only 2 primary things you need to decide on. The first one is the targeting. And I'm going to show a screenshot on screen now, which shows you what that looks like. And basically the only things you need to decide here, if we're talking about an essential local business, is the age and the demographic and the radius. So if we're doing roofers, I would probably choose 35 years old and older, male and female, 15 kilometers or 10 miles around where the business operates. And that's because people who are under 35 probably don't own houses on average, and thus they don't have roofs to be repaired. Dentistry, I generally choose like 21 and older. And again, 5 or 10 kilometers, 5 or 10 miles around where the business operates. So this is the dead simple targeting criteria that you need to choose for these type of essential businesses. Now I'm going to show another 2 screenshots on screen now, and this gives you an idea of what the ads are actually like. So with these lead ads, what you do is you build a small form within Facebook. So when someone clicks the ad, it pops up on the form in Facebook. It's super simple. You don't need an external landing page. You don't even need to be sending anyone to a website. Facebook will open this up and you can choose what questions you want to ask. So again, if we're talking roofers, you would be asking, what is your current roof leaking? When do you need a new roof by, et cetera, et cetera. For dentistry, it could be as simple as how can we help you with your dental needs? You would talk with the client and ask them, hey, like, what do you want to know? What kind of questions do you want your leads to fill out before they arrive in your email inbox? And you can customize this in Facebook, and once it's filled out, it'll be emailed straight to your client in real time. And once that's set up, you just press go, you decide on your daily budget, and Facebook does all the heavy lifting for you. And that's the beauty of that system. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of Google Smart Ads as well, which is basically Google's equivalent of Facebook lead ads in a way. And I'll quickly jump on my computer and show you guys that. Okay, so we're here in the Google Ads dashboard and we're going to press new campaign. And then we're going to choose leads. Then we're going to choose smart. So you can see right here, it says get customer calls or visits to your store, blah, blah, blah. Automated ads that show up on Google, Google Maps, and across the web. And take advantage of minimal hands-on ads management. So this is like the 80-20 move where you get the most results for the least amount of work. And we're going to press calls. And then we choose the business we want to work on. You'll have to have, your client will have had to invited you to their Google My Business profile for this to work. And the rest is extremely simple. So I'm going to 25 kilometers. That's a bit high. I'll say 15 kilometer radius. Hit next. And it's also really cool that you can just call up Google and ask them how to do it. And they will literally tell you for free how to set up the ads. So Google, they want you to spend money. They'll help you. They're actually fairly helpful for setting things up. And what you see here is really cool that Google has actually already suggested what it thinks the keyword should be. So the dentist, the business I chose was a dentist we already work with. And it says, dental clinic, kids dentist, cosmetic dentist, dentist for braces, walk-in, dentist with sedation. And then you can add more too. So annual dental exam, family dentist. So you literally just click a handful of these that make sense. And Google will say, okay, our potential audience size is 600,000 people per month. That's how many people in aggregate search these terms within our chosen radius each month. You can, even if you want to advertise in a different language, do it here, but we're going to keep that for English. Click next. Then Google has actually built the entire ad for us. So we have 3 headlines, 2 descriptions. Just leave it, you give it a read over, make sure it makes sense. This all does, New Westminster Clinic, get the dental care you need, looking for an affordable way to maintain your teeth, contact our dentist. We have a wide range of dental care services available for you today. So Google has scanned this business's Google My Business profile and created the ads for you. You can see a preview of the ad right here. You just click next again. That part down there clicks on your ad. Don't have to worry about that because we're going to be getting phone calls. Pop in the client's phone number right here. Check this, turn on verified calls. That means Google's going to be able to track how many calls you get. Click next. Then you set your budget. So just click enter your own. So I suggest you get the client to agree to a minimum of $500 per month. So $500 per month in total. And that'll be split out between Google and Facebook. So if we do, let's just say we divide that by 2, so $250 a month for Google, $250 a month for Facebook. Divide that by 30 and we got $8.3 a day. So let's just round that up and spend about $10 a day. This warning, it's not a big deal. They're going to spend it anyway. We press set budget. And I'm not going to press next because if I go much further, it's going to actually launch this. And we already have different ads running for this client. But that's it. That took me about 5 minutes right now. And it's very, very fast. Step number 6, the final step in getting your agency off the ground is getting good results for your first client or a couple clients and then charging them a real management fee. So let's dig into this a little bit more. We have our Google Smart campaigns firing away. We have our Facebook lead ads firing away. Once you've set those up, Google and Facebook is doing the heavy lifting for you. They're almost running themselves. And let's do some quick, simple math here. So let's just say the client agreed to spend $500 in ad spend, $250 to Google, $250 to Facebook. Let's say your cost per lead was $50. So in that first 30-day period, they got 10 leads. Now, let's say of these 10 leads, 4 of them turned into new actual customers for your client. Now, let's also assume the lifetime value of a customer for your client's $2,000. I'm assuming you picked a good niche and not a low value niche. So let's say it's at least $2,000. So your client got 4 new clients, $2,000 per client. You generated them $8,000 of value in that first month off of only $500 in ad spend. Now, this is when you're in a power position to have a conversation with that client and talk about the management fee they're going to pay you for month 2. And the way I suggest my students approach this is, if you started off charging them $500, if you get results that good, that great for them, then I would come back and say, okay, the fee going forward is going to be $2,000 in total. $1,000 per month is going to pay me to continue setting this up and delivering these results for you. And then $1,000 is going to pay the ad platform. So remember, previously, they were spending $500 a month in ad spend. Now you're saying we're going to double that. So instead of $250 Facebook, $250 Google, we're doing $500 Facebook, $500 Google. So they're going to get double the results. So they can assume they're going to get 8 new clients or customers next month. You're going to generate them $16,000 of value, which is 8 times 2,000. And you're basically saying, hey, client, I want to make you $16,000. I'm asking for $2,000 per month in return. That's an easy proposition for the client to say yes to. And that's how it all starts. That's how it begins building. You also can ask for a video testimonial from that client, go find other clients in that same industry. And the more results you get, the more leverage you have to charge high management fees right out of the gate. At North Digital right now, for example, we charge $2,000 in management fee and $2,000 in ad spend. So the clients are paying $4,000 out of pocket, and they're getting multiple times that back in value. And you can see how that scales up very fast. You only need 5 clients paying you $2,000 a month to have a $10,000 per month agency in recurring income, which is an amazing opportunity that's the internet has made possible right now. So guys, that wraps up this video. Let me know in the comments where you're at in your journey. I'm going to be putting out more content like this. Like and subscribe if this resonates with you. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later.